There are moments that don't just happen. They reveal not the world, but the people inside it. That day was not about what was happening on the road. It was about what was happening inside every person standing there. Because sometimes the real story is not what you see. It's what you feel and what you choose to do with it. The road stretched forward, covered in dust, marked by footsteps that meant nothing until now. The sky remained open, indifferent. The air moved slowly, as if even it was carrying the weight of what was unfolding. People gathered, different faces, different lives, different stories. But one moment, and in that moment, they were all being tested, not by words, not by rules, but by something deeper, by their own hearts. And at the center of it all, he walked. Jesus Christ. Not above them, not distant, but right in the middle of everything they were trying not to feel. A soldier stood closest. His armor reflected the light. His face showed nothing. His duty was clear. Control the crowd. Follow orders. Do not question. And for years, that had been enough. But today, something was wrong. Because this man was not resisting, not fighting, not begging. And somehow, that made it harder. Because it's easier to control someone who fights. It's harder to face someone who doesn't. And for the first time, the soldier felt something dangerous. Doubt. Not far away, a mother held her child close, too close, as if she could protect him from something she didn't understand. Her eyes moved constantly, from the road to the crowd to the man carrying the cross. She didn't want her child to see this, but she couldn't leave, because something inside her refused to walk away, and she didn't know why. A young boy stood beside her, eyes wide, silent, watching everything, trying to understand something no one was explaining. Why is he alone? Why is no one helping? Why does it feel wrong? He didn't ask, but he felt. And sometimes, a child's silence is louder than a crowd's noise further back. A man stood with crossed arms, judging, certain, convinced that what was happening was justified, because believing that made it easier. Easier to watch, easier to accept, easier to not feel guilty. But even he couldn't ignore everything, because deep down, something didn't sit right, and the more he tried to silence it, the louder it became. An old woman sat near the edge, weak, tired, watching slowly. She had seen life. She had seen pain. But this felt different, not because of what was happening, but because of how it felt. Heavy, unavoidable, real. And she knew. Moments like this don't leave people unchanged. And then, there was her. The woman no one noticed. The one who had lived her whole life on the edge of everything. Not chosen, not seen, not remembered. Her pain was not loud. It was quiet. The kind that builds slowly, over time, until it becomes part of who you are. And she had accepted it. Accepted being invisible. Accepted being forgotten. Accepted that her presence didn't matter until now, because something about him refused to let her stay that way. Every step he took pulled something inside her. Every struggle echoed within her. Every fall broke something in her. And every rise awakened something she thought was gone. hope. And then he fell. The moment spread, not outward, inward. The soldier looked, just for a second longer than before, and in that second, his certainty cracked. The mother tightened her grip, fear rising, because she knew her child was seeing something that would stay with him forever. The boy stepped forward slightly, without realizing it, because something inside him wanted to go closer. The man who judged looked away, because something inside him didn't want to see anymore. The old woman closed her eyes, because she understood what this moment meant. And the unseen woman moved, not because she planned to, not because she was brave, but because she couldn't stay still anymore. Because sometimes the heart moves before the mind agrees. Step by step, she broke through everything that had held her back: fear, silence, doubt, all of it, until she reached him. The soldier noticed. His grip tightened. He could stop her. He should stop her. That was his duty, but he didn't, because something inside him chose not to. The boy watched, hope growing, because someone was finally doing something. The mother held her breath, because she knew this moment mattered. The old woman opened her eyes, because she didn't want to miss this. And the woman reached out, her hands trembling, her heart racing, her soul wide open, and she touched his face. She wiped the dust, the blood, the pain, gently, carefully, like she was touching something sacred. And in that simple act, everything changed. The soldier felt it, a crack in his certainty, a question in his mind, a weight in his chest. The boy felt it, hope, clear, real, alive. The mother felt it, fear turning into something else, something softer, something deeper. The man who judged felt it too, and this time he couldn't ignore it. The old woman smiled, because she knew this was the moment. And then he stopped. Jesus Christ turned, not just toward her, but toward everyone, because this moment was never meant for just one person. His eyes met hers first, and in that gaze, she was seen, completely, fully, without condition. And she broke, not in weakness, but in truth. But the moment didn't end there, because something else happened. His presence reached beyond her. The soldier lowered his eyes, because for the first time, he felt small. The boy stepped forward again, because for the first time, he felt courage. The mother loosened her grip, because for the first time, she felt peace. The man who judged said nothing, because for the first time, he wasn't sure anymore. The old woman whispered, "Now they will remember." And the woman, she cried, because for the first time, she was not invisible. He turned back, lifted the cross, and continued walking. But nothing was the same, because that day was not just about him carrying the cross. It was about everyone else carrying what they felt: doubt, hope, fear, truth, change.